So I guess Oscar Valdez has been receiving some criticism. Basically, you be calling him a bum and he ain't shit and all this whatever and whatnot. And Shakur Stevenson comes out and pretty much defends Oscar Valdez, saying, you need to give him his respect. He didn't come to lay down because he earned his respect, whatever, blah, 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 blah. What I have to say about that is Shakur shouldn't be concerned with how people are treating or talking about Oscar Valdez, because the olive branch would have not been extended your way in that manner, and nor would nobody take up or defend you. Those is just facts. And at the end of the day, with all that ducking that Oscar Valdez need, this is the criticism that he should have got. To add on top of that, the criticism and the backlash he should have got for number one, testing dirty, and for number two, being allowed to fight while testing dirty, and number three, robbing the guy that you tested dirty against in the first place. Okay, so he robbed the guy, took PEDs, and then was allowed to fight. So whatever criticism that Oscar Valdez is getting is much needed and is nowhere near enough is what he should have got during his initial failed drug test. So with this, I understand what Shakur Stevenson is trying to do, but I think that it's out of place, and it really doesn't need, Oscar Valdez really don't need nobody to defend him, because whatever criticism that he's getting, he needs to get, point blank and period. For all the ducking, for all the cheating, for all the robbing, for all the lying, for all the this and that. I mean, he needs all that shit and some. That's called the chickens coming home to roost at the end of the day. So I don't agree with this statement with Shakur Stevenson, but I guess it's the good and polite thing to do. But just know, if the shoes was on the other foot, wouldn't nobody do this shit for you? Wouldn't nobody defend you? He wouldn't come out and say anything for you. And being that you've been so disrespected via Top Rank, Bob Arum didn't even want to sit there and help promote the fight because he knew that he was going to lose. And a lot of people are saying the same thing. I mean, it's cool when you try to give Oscar Valdez his props, but when you look at it, you have to understand that it's not a fight that he wanted. You know what I'm saying? And everybody knows that. Okay? A lot of people credit Terrence Bud Crawford for this fight, and that's somebody that you should credit, because if it was not for that situation, you would have kept getting ducked. Shakur Stevenson heard what Bob Arum and Oscar Valdez team was trying to do. It's only when the case hit that things changed up. This is why he didn't help promote that damn fight. Because two fighters that he's promoting is fighting each other. Why wouldn't you want to promote that? That's all in-house money. Who wouldn't want to promote that? That's all in-house. So what is there not to want to promote about it? Just like people say, he just mad because he lost his baby Canelo at the end of the day. So props to Shakur Stevenson for seemingly doing and saying the right thing. But at the end of the day, Oscar Valdez don't need no life raft. He needs to get all the criticism he did. Now, did he come there to lay down? Of course he didn't come there to lay down. He didn't have no choice. He couldn't come in there and lay down. Receiving too much criticism for ducking and then to go in there and lay down, Oscar Valdez knew he couldn't do that. So there's really no props that I can give Oscar Valdez other than the post interview where the guy that was interviewing him tried to create excuses for his loss, and he just said flat out Shakur was the better man at the end of the day. That's something I respect Oscar Valdez for, because he could have kept up the bullshit, you know what I'm saying, but he didn't, and I think he did that more for himself than anything else. That shit was real. But all that other shit, I mean, he don't need nobody to defend him. He deserves the criticism and some. And some. Because like I said, if the shoe was on the other foot, people wouldn't give a fuck about Shakur Stevenson. Just remember Shakur Stevenson's interview with FightHype.com that I told y'all to look up. Okay? He know what time it is. So he already know it wouldn't have been that way for him. If Shakur Stevenson would have got an injury or whatever and whatnot, they didn't want you to have this fight. So I don't want to hear that, props to Oscar Valdez because he could have fought this person, but he chose to fight the best. And how funny I find that, because in the process of trying to get this fight made, all those people who's trying to credit Oscar Valdez, because yeah, he could have fought anybody, but he chose to fight the best, was the same one saying that they didn't want to see the fight. So at that time, you didn't want to see the best fight the best. But now that he had no choice but to fight the best, you want to try to give him credit for something that he didn't want to do in the first place? Hell fuck no. Hell no. Hell no. That's exactly what you get for ducking, cheating, and you've been cheating, and for robbing Constant Cow, for robbing him. So no, you know what I'm saying? He don't deserve no defending, but he did go in there and he gave his best. Shakur made him look like an amateur at the end of the day, but he went in there and gave his best. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people go in there and get their best at the end of the day, but Oscar Valdez is a cheat, point blank and period, and not just any kind of cheat. A cheat that was allowed to cheat, that cheated somebody else right after that. That's a whole bunch of fucking cheating. Sorry, you deserve every bit of criticism that you get in the world. Point blank and period. Because, I'll guarantee you this. You show me a fight over there at PBC or anywhere else that's going to fail a drug test and still be allowed to fight. Show me a fighter where that's going to happen. Show me. It's not going to happen. So it shows that, they were playing favoritism, especially with the WBC. You know what I'm saying? Which is adding to that. Right after we get these few little Undisputeds out of the way, the WBC belt is out the week. The WBC belt is obsolete. If you hold that belt, you might as well hold a franchise champion belt, because that's a clown belt. Like I said, right after this, Terrence Bud Crawford. Right after this, Castano Charlo, right after this, and right after the Undisputed with whoever it is, Joshua and Usyk, and Tyson Fury, however that's gonna mix up. Right after them Undisputed is out of the way, that WBC belt going in the trash. It's no fucking good. It's not good for boxing. Nothing they stand for. You know what I'm saying? They was right throwing that belt in the trash. But right after we get these out of the way, don't look at me and call yourself a champion. You got a WBC strap. I don't want to hear that shit. That belt is not respected. Point blank and period. Not by serious boxing fans. That belt is not respected. They have so many orchestrated, engineered champions. It's fucking ridiculous. And plus, if you're going to play favoritism, allow people to cheat, and then go in there and take fights, and then, as if it's not enough, you allow somebody to take steroids and continue to fight. Then you rob the guy on the fucking scorecard. Hell, fuck no. Fuck the WBC belt. We don't need that shit no more. So anybody holding that, right after we get these Undisputeds out of the way, letting you know right now, it's a cherry pie champion belt, along with the franchise belt as far as I'm concerned. That's my thoughts on this. I'm out.